Alright, today's video comes as a response to an essay sent to us by the hacker known as... This essay claims that there are 7 proofs for the natural immortality of the human soul. As always, I will be placing a link to this essay down in the description so that you can fact check my statements, and I certainly encourage that you do. To open up with its first proof, it claims the intellect possesses the power of abstraction. Goes on to quote Sir Thomas Aquinas, interprets the words of Sir Thomas Aquinas in its own way, and then uses its interpretation to prove that it is correct. Don't quite know how that works. In short, I think, therefore, there is a soul. If you believe that a soul exists, whatever your personal conception of a soul is, that's fine. It's really not my place to tell you that your beliefs are wrong. However, just because you are capable of abstract thought is simply not proof. Furthermore, about Sir Thomas Aquinas or any other philosopher that you may enjoy researching, and I certainly do enjoy researching Sir Thomas Aquinas. I had to read his works during college, and I've read his works multiple times since then, purely for my own enjoyment. However, no one particular individual's philosophies are proof of anything. My own thoughts and conjecture and conclusions that I've made are not proof that God does not exist, any more than Sir Thomas Aquinas' philosophy was proof that God does exist. Proof number 2. The soul forms ideas about reality that are immaterial. First of all, no, that's false. The soul does not form ideas. Your brain forms ideas. If you believe that you are capable of forming ideas without your brains, then there's a very, very simple way to test that. Remove your brain and see if you have any thoughts. Just to give a quick disclaimer, don't actually remove your brain. I don't want to get sued. Proof number 3, the will strives for immaterial goods. The essay then goes on to talk that human beings do strive for things like justice and concepts like moral fortitude. And yes, human beings do oftentimes strive for justice and harmony and love and balance and these things that are immaterial goods. How that in and of itself is proof that I have an intangible supernatural spirit, I don't know. Point number 4 is that the intellect can reflect upon its own act of knowledge. Personally, I don't see how this is any different from point number 1. How I think, therefore my soul is immortal, which once again, I don't understand. Just because I am capable of thinking about things does not prove that my soul is immortal. Number 5 is, I guess in my opinion, one of the most ridiculous things in this list. And it says that man, never mind the, misogynistic implications of that, but man has a natural desire to live forever. False. I'm going to go false on that one. Do some people desire to live forever? Sure. Do others desire to die? For better or worse, they do. To generalize all human beings, or all men, I guess in this case, because, in the Bible, women don't really matter. In the real world, they do. But no, not every human being wants to live forever. I certainly don't. That's not to say that I'm not afraid to die. I certainly am. But that also doesn't mean that I want to live forever. And even if I did want to live from here until whatever forever means to you, that also is not proof that I have an immortal soul. And I guess I kind of have to turn this back around on people. I don't want to live forever, but this essay says that I do. So if I don't want to live forever, does that prove this essay wrong? Alright, point number 6 says that the testimonies of mankind over the centuries and millennia, and that's all it says, at least in its title, and it goes through to list a few ancient religions, and it goes on to give a few exceptions. So basically, what it leads one to conclude is that the majority of human beings throughout history have believed in the immortality of the human soul. Therefore, that proves it. No. First of all, no. That does not prove anything. A lot of people believe a lot of things. In fact, the majority of people on this earth are not Christians. Does that prove that Christianity is wrong? No, it doesn't. The majority of people on this planet believe in some sort of deity. Does that prove that there is? No, it doesn't. And the same would work in reverse. If the majority of human beings believe that I don't have a lighter on my table right there, would that make any difference to whether or not I had a lighter on my table right there? No, it would not. Just because a bunch of human beings believe a bunch of things is not proof of anything. By the way, I do have a lighter on my table, in case you were wondering. Reality is not now, never has been, and never will be a popularity contest. We cannot get together and take a vote whether or not the Earth is round, or whether or not the Earth goes around the sun. It does, or it doesn't, regardless of what the majority of human beings believe. So, yes, religion has been a prominent part of human society since humans have been forming large and complex societies. That does not by any measure prove anything at all. Now, I've already called one of these proofs ridiculous, so I'm not going to use that same kind of terminology, but I will call this seventh and final proof disgusting. And it is disgusting, but I'm going to wait to address it. The seventh and final proof is the existence of moral law, which basically states that, you know, just because I don't think I should go on a killing spree, that proves I have a soul. Which, again, no. There are many and varied and complex reasons why I don't want to go on a killing spree. And I don't. And once again, I have to turn that around. Even if I did, even if I did not adhere to moral laws, would that disprove a human soul? Once again, no. And what about those people who have no morals? Does that mean that they don't have a soul? Well, okay, if that's what you believe, that's fine. Once again, don't call that proof, but if that's what you want to believe on faith, I accept that. But then, why did you get a soul and they didn't? This is getting a little convoluted. I think I'd better stop here. Now, just for the sake of argument, I would like to prove something to you, just to show you how the concept of proof works. I would like to prove to the world that I own a cat. Now, what would be proof of that? Would proof of that be the idea that, I don't know, cats may or may not exist? No, that's not proof. This is proof I have a cat. You cannot and do not prove something by making assumptions about one thing, then making assumptions about another, and then using your assumptions to prove that your assumptions are correct. That is not how it works. Alrighty, once again, I've got to give thanks to two people. This essay was written by that guy and was sent to me by that guy, and I want to thank you both. Please keep these questions coming, but yeah, you get smarter, get better, do better. Go.